Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. Before we get into the reading, I just want to mention that I do have a few new services available, a couple new offerings. I'm going to leave the information in the description box below. You can click on the link and, again, read more into it to see if it's something that speaks to you. Also, this, of course, is a general reading, so if you would like a personalized reading, then of course book some time with me and we'll take a deeper dive into your own personal energies. Okay, so as always, first we're going to look at the energy for the collective. And remember, when I say collective, that includes you, that includes me. We're all part of the collective. So when I go over the collective energy, it's energy that has the potential to influence us individually as well as collectively. So it's actually really important information. So first I'll go through that for August, and then I will get into the specific life path forecast. Let's go ahead and get started. So we are looking at August 2021, and August ushers in a 13-4 cycle. So this is a 4 universal energy. So collectively and individually, we could all feel the influences of this energy in a myriad of ways. 13-4 energy, there's so much I can say about this energy, so I'll try to keep this as brief as possible, but there's just so much potentially to come in this month, so I want to make sure you're aware of it. So 13-4 energy is the vibration of the divine feminine and Mother Earth. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind as we move through this reading. The divine feminine, of course, being an energy. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, we all have divine feminine and divine masculine energies from within. And there's also those divine feminine and divine masculine energies without. So just kind of keep that in mind. But 13-4 energy is the vibration of the divine feminine and Mother Earth. So at its core, this energy is very intuitive, very nurturing, and receptive energy. However, it's very nuanced in its layers, and you sort of need to sift through those layers to reach that vibration. And so what I mean by that is, think harmony through chaos or harmony through conflict. So yes, this is a very nurturing and supportive, beautiful energy, but it's also a bit of sort of tough love at first. This 13-4 energy will, in one way or another, show us exactly where our mess is and insist that we take responsibility for it and clean it up before we can essentially move forward. So it's like needing to do our chores first before we can go outside and play. So if there are deeds left undone within your life or faults within the foundation, this energy will highlight those areas and really push you towards sort of making the appropriate adjustments so that you don't remain in an unhealthy cycle. So this is a very practical, real-world, grounded energy. We are all sort of really looking at the tangibles here: relationships, career, actions, material goods, resources, laws, belief systems, structures, including our own personal structure, i.e. our body, mind, and spirit, right? So during a 13-4 cycle, we're really being faced with the polarities of our own personal experience, and we're being asked to find our own harmonious center within those polarities. So you may see things surface this month personally as well as on the global stage that, again, are those polarities, and we're being asked to find that center. So when you're faced with some kind of polarization that makes you feel off kilter or out of sorts energetically and physically, that is an indicator for you to work on finding the balance that equalizes the energy for you. Okay, you don't have control over the external, but you do have control over finding your own center and sort of internalizing and realizing what that feels like for you. And yes, you're probably going to fall off that, from that center many times, right? As you move forward. But at least you'll have an understanding of what that center feels like, and you can continue to find your way back to it. Finding your center will be personal for you and unique for every person, right? So it may take a little bit of trial and error, but basically that's where the work lies and where the energy is trying to steer you towards. So figuring out where that center is for you, okay, that's the work. So the nurturing, intuitive, loving, harmonious energy of this 13-4 cycle resides within that center space. So when you find that center, that's what's waiting there for you, right? And so, like I said, yes, we fall, on either side of that center, sometimes well beyond that center, many, many times throughout our lifetime, and as we continue to progress and move forward and evolve. But it's in finding that center and finding that harmony and that balance and those calm waters that we realize, again, what it feels like, and then how we start to understand the process of getting back to that center when we start to feel polarized again, okay? And that this 13-4 energy is going to assist you in doing that. So 13-4 cycles can initiate a karmic beginning of some kind or some kind of karmic conclusion. So 13-4 energy can be very karmic, basically. So again, you may see some kind of karmic situation initiated at this time, or some kind of karmic conclusion or ending. So you may find people or experiences entering or exiting your life at this time. If they're entering, then you will begin a cycle of sort of working towards clearing that karmic debt. And the challenges that you face at this time will assist you in that process. If you're ending a karmic cycle at this time, you may see an influx of rewards coming in your way, right? And that person or experience that was involved in that karmic, payment may exit your life, or you may feel the energy sort of shift to where it no longer feels quite so challenging or so much like work. So whether or not you believe in karma, our souls came here for growth and expansion. And the soul contracts that we have with others help to facilitate and at times accelerate that expansion. So you may see a soul contract be initiated or completed at this time. 13-4 energy is incredibly beautiful and supportive energy. I just want to reiterate that, especially in our evolution forward. It will, however, ask us to be very, very honest with ourselves when it comes to finances, resources, relationships, habits, mindsets, actions, and so on and so forth. So anything you've been trying to avoid up to this point could come in front and center of your awareness now to be dealt with, once and for all, or at least initiated. And, the beautiful aspect of 4 energy is that you will most certainly, most definitely get out of the experience whatever it is that you put into it. So you get to decide where within your life needs a little bit of tender loving care, needs some remodeling. This is a perfect cycle to begin, right? These energetic and these physical projects, this is a great energy, a great cycle to start those projects. So one final note I want to make is this is a great cycle to make time to truly ground yourself, to spend extra time in nature, and surround yourself with the many gifts and blessings of Mother Earth. Because again, this is her energy. This is her cycle. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the individual life path forecast for August. Life path number 4, fellow life path number 4s. Okay, so this is our month. This is our energy this month. The collective energy for August is that 13-4 energy. This is our show. So Let's see what's coming in for us. Okay. So I pulled an animal spirit card for us. I myself am also a life path 4. And we got mountain goat, which I absolutely love, especially for this energy, because mountain goat is such 4 energy. They just embody the same energy that 4s have. And so what's interesting is I'm just getting this sense from mountain goat that we are on this climb, right? And I feel like this is very physical. I feel like this is and it could also be spiritual as well, or emotional. But I feel like for the most part, this is very physical and has to do with like becoming an expert in your field, becoming an expert in your craft, working towards a certain level of stability and sustainability within your life, that sort of thing. But I feel like mountain goat's message is, because mountain goats are all about perseverance, right? They're climbing those cliffs. They could easily fall if they make a wrong move. They're usually high altitude, so it's like their perspective is really, they can see a lot. They're the observer in a lot of sense. And so they make their decisions based from that observation, right? So their perspective is different. And so I just get this sense from mountain goat. The message is, don't give up, keep going, you're almost there. And so I'm really feeling like if there's a project, if there's, a relationship, if there's something within the material plane where you have just been showing up, doing the steps, putting in the effort, I really feel like we're not quite there yet. We're not quite at the summit yet. But we've conquered a lot of ground, right? Like we've done a lot at this point. So I feel like the message is, keep persevering, keep going. If it still speaks to you, if it still ignites your passion, your soul, keep going, because we're on the right path. We're just not there yet. And it's, it's going to be a bit of a climb. But that's the thing. It's almost like this very like Capricornian energy of like not giving up and persevering and doing whatever they need to do to hit or to acquire what it is that they wish to acquire, right? To accomplish what they wish to accomplish. As long as it's not for the wrong reasons and in going against what your soul desires and that sort of thing. But it's like, I just get this sense of like, we're on this path of mastery. And to give up now would sort of defeat the whole purpose of why we started the journey in the first place. So again, if there's a project or a relationship or something like that where it's like, it still speaks to you, it still calls to you, it still feels right for you, and it involves other parties that it feels right for them as well, then keep going. I feel like we're on the right path. I feel like we're in the process of mastery at this point. And in order to accomplish that, we need to keep striving, keep moving up that ladder, keep going towards the goal methodically. And you think of mountain goats and they have to move very methodically, because again, one misstep and they could be falling down the mountain. So it's actually a really beautiful energy. And I think that it really is powerful for this universal 4 energy, in the fact that it's like, again, building something that's very sustainable, that will last the test of time, building that legacy. And that's such 4 energy anyway. So yeah, so if you needed the encouragement to say you're on the right path, keep going, you're almost there, I feel like mountain goat is coming in with that reassurance and with that encouragement. So beautiful energy there. Okay, so I broke the month down into 4 weeks for us. And right out of the gate, first week out of the month, I see like a ton of communication coming in for you. So if you have been trying to, get on the same page with somebody, or strike up a business deal, or maybe you applied for a promotion or something like that, and you've been like waiting to hear something and it's sort of been crickets, I feel like you're going to have like a tremendous amount of communication coming in at the first week. And I feel like it's very positive. I feel like it's leading you in that it's assisting you in that that progression forward, basically, of whatever it is you're trying to achieve. So you may find at this time that your email box is full and you just are getting like bombarded with communication. It's kind of almost like where things were really slow before, all of a sudden things just really pick up and the communication is coming in left, right, and center, and you get a lot more clarity around the project, around the promotion, around whatever it is that you're trying to get the clarity on. I feel like that comes in pretty swiftly, actually. And it's like all of a sudden you're like, yes, this is happening. You know that this is happening. You know the direction that you need to move into. Things just become a lot more clear at the beginning of the month, I feel like. And then second week is very interesting because I'm definitely getting leadership energy. I'm getting collaboration, working with other people, taking a project to a new level, getting new clients. But it's interesting because it's like you're the expert in the situation. So they're coming to you for the guidance, for, to be led basically in the next step. They're coming to you because you are the expert in whatever this is. And they believe in your idea or your vision or whatever, right? So it's interesting because there's definitely leadership energy here, and you just have to find the confidence to be able to stand up and lead. And it's not like you're going to be leading alongside of these people, but you have to remember that they're coming to you because they believe in what you have to offer, or they believe in the idea, or whatever the case may be. So it's not necessarily like you have to convince them at this point. If anything, it might be convincing yourself. So that may come in pretty strongly for you at this point, where you need to give yourself that vote of confidence where, these people are coming to you for a reason, and it's because they value what you have to offer. And so if, tap into that confidence, tap into the confidence that they have for you. Because I think that you're going to have an opportunity to really shine around this second week of August. And so, yeah, beautiful energy. And it goes hand in hand with Mountain Goat's energy of, being that expert or working towards becoming that expert. But in that process, people will be coming to you for your expertise. And so, 4 energy is very leadership oriented energy. And so, you may have an opportunity to really step into that at this point. Third week, this is interesting because I'm definitely seeing this 13 energy coming into play, the 13-4 energy coming into play here. I almost see like someone from like, whether you believe in past lives or not, someone from a past life coming in here. There's a lot of nostalgia. There's a lot of this feeling of like past life energy, could be very karmic. Again, 13 energy can be karmic energy. So I definitely see some kind of maybe communication from somebody from your past coming in here. But this also kind of feels like closure. So if you have been sort of in a karmic cycle, then I actually kind of see this as like closure of that. Like you've cleared this karmic energy and things are kind of healed and being put to rest. It's interesting because I just did the reading for 3s, and you could very clearly see where that karmic cycle is starting for them, or for those of them that it resonates with. For those of you that this resonates with, this very clearly looks like a karmic cycle ending. And so you may see the people, the places, the things fall away at this point in time because you've cleared that karmic energy. Or you may just see things stabilize within that relationship and become a heck of a lot easier. And then you sort of reap those rewards for having put in the effort and doing the work to clear that karma. So, yeah. So, and again, same thing if you don't really, subscribe to karmic energy. This could be like a soul contract, like, again, coming to completion. So it may be like something where you've completed that contract with this person or this experience, and now it's coming to completion. And a lot of times that does mean that person or that thing will fall away, but that's just making space for the next contract to come in, or the next experience to come in. But it doesn't necessarily mean that person has to fall away. It could just be like the terms of the contract are now finalized and the circumstances just change a little bit, but that person is still a part of your life. It's just a lot, it's just different. It just shifts the energy. So I'm kind of seeing that third week that could happen with maybe a soulmate or something like that, or some kind of karmic energy. Fourth week for us, I'm seeing, this is interesting because I'm definitely seeing an ending here. But it's interesting too, because it's kind of like, we're also being asked to sort of go within and really dive into our intuitive side, which is very 4 energy. 4s are very intuitive by nature, very heart-centered. And so I'm definitely getting this feeling of like, something is ending here, but if you go into your heart center, if you can really go within, you're going to see that whatever this is had to end so that you could step into the next creative process or a tremendous amount of joy and happiness, right? An experience that is leveled up, is like the next level. So yeah, I see something ending here for you, or for us, but it could be like a project being completed or a shift in the project's energy. So like maybe there's something that you were working on or trying to work on, and the direction that you were moving in needs to shift. So that particular thing needs to end, and then so the next thing can step in, or the detour can take place to move you in a more aligned, more triumphant experience. So, but I'm definitely getting the intuition really strongly here. So follow your intuition as always, but definitely this 4th week, things may come up for you that, this is trying to end or be removed from your experience, and you may be trying to hold on to it so tightly that it's just making everything really uncomfortable. And that's where you really need to go into your intuition, go into that heart compass, that heart center, and try to become the observer and see the situation for what it is, and try to see why it might be ending, right? And like what that could serve, what purpose that could serve. Because the overall tone of this month for 4s is incredibly creative energy, and very nurturing, very mothering, very nature-oriented energy. And so again, Mother Earth energy. So anywhere that you can find to ground yourself, to get connected to the earth, which again, 4s by nature are very typically connected to the earth in some way, like very heart center focused, and usually have a really good connection with animals and all those things. So I feel like you may see some synchronicities this month that are really helping to guide you back to your true nature, which is that very intuitive, soul having this human experience. And so, and using your intuition, using that inner compass will help you in the more practical, physical plane, which is also something we truly embody. So yeah, I just see this beautiful sort of mirroring of the 2 energies of like that intuitive side and then the practical side, the feminine with the masculine energies really coming together in a beautiful way here. So, and this 13-4 energy is very feminine energy. And 4 energy, the 13 is what's very feminine. The 4 energy can be, when it's balanced with the masculine and feminine, but it can be sort of more masculine or fall into the more masculine energies of that action. So I just see this as like a month where we're really being asked to blend the 2, find our center, right? Find that merging of the feminine and masculine energies from within, and be really mindful of the steps that we take and the practical actions that we take. And like I said, 2nd week, it looks like we're stepping into some kind of leadership activity. But we have to be open to it, and we have to understand that we're worthy of it. Okay. So anyway, 4th week, I kind of see something needing to come to a close here. But it's just making space for something that's much more aligned and much bigger. to take its place. So just follow your intuition, especially that fourth week. Connect to nature as much as you can this month, and as much as possible follow that inner guidance, that real intuitive drive, that intuitive stillness, right? So yeah, I really feel like this is going to be for career, for purpose, for the more material side of things this month, and that creative side of things. I think this is going to be a really powerful month for us all. I think it might be busy for some of us, but very creative energy this month. And you may see things transpire this month that you didn't think were possible. But yeah, really powerful, beautiful energy. So high fives, fours. All right. Take care, everyone. I hope it's a beautiful August for you all. And yeah, I can't wait to see what transpires. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.